All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Billy Boy, and today on today's show, we're going to be talking about Chhit Bansi, the bamboo pole, string, hook, and a whole lot of fish. I'm your host, Billy Boy, and my co-host is Kevin Samuels. Kevin, would you like to say good morning?
Hey everybody, good morning, and let's have a great show.
All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Up Show. Today, Kevin and I are taking you halfway around the world to Bengal for a style of shore fishing that caught my attention immediately. I watched a young Bengal uh, girl, and uh, she was standing along the water fishing with what looked like almost nothing. She had a bamboo pole, a piece of fishing line, a small hook. Uh, she had a bobber. She didn't have no $500 fishing rod, no expensive spinning reel, no electronic fish finder, no boat. But guess what? She was catching fish. I'm not kidding. She was catching them. And I thought, wait a minute. What does she know that I don't know? Because she wasn't simply throwing a hook into the water. She was preparing the spot, right? And she had this dark, muddy looking mixture that at first looked like manure. Then she mixed it in dry cereal looking material, rolled the mixture into balls, and threw it into the water. That's what she did, right? Uh, then after she threw it in the water, then she took and came the bamboo pole, and then came the fish. Today we're going to break down this fascinating method down in 5 segments: making the bait, seasoning the water, fishing with the bamboo pole and bobber, uh, meeting the fish, passing the knowledge from one generation to another, and stay with us. Please stay with us today for today's surveys. Question is, what would you rather fish with? A modern rod and reel? A traditional bamboo pole? I don't care, just show me where the fish are. Put A, B, or C in the comments. All right? Go ahead and do that. Uh, and while you're there, remember to subscribe, hit the like, share this video. All right, Kevin, are you ready for segment number 1?
Oh yeah, let's dive right in. Segment 1. What's in that bait? Quick setup on mustard oil cake, the binders, the scent cloud, then tee up seasoning the water.
All right, this really looks like some interesting looking stuff here. All right, so uh, Kevin, this is where our story gets interesting. When I first saw that brown black material, I thought, what in the world was she doing in that water? What was she making there? Right? That's what I thought. So it looked like mud. Then it looked like it was fermented, and then it might even make some people watching the video think, is that manure? No. One traditional ingredient used in this part of the world is called mustard oil cake, often called kioi. And mustard seeds are crushed to extract their oil. After the oil is removed, a solid material remains, and fishermen can put the humble agricultural byproduct to work. All right, Kevin, go ahead and explain what we're seeing here.
Sure thing. So what you're seeing is that leftover mustard seed cake softened with water. Then they mix in rice bran, puff rice, or roasted gram flour, something like that, to bind it. Pack it into balls and then toss it to build that thin cloud. That's the dinner bell. Then our hook bait drops right into that feeding zone.
Oh, okay. So they toss the ball out there. So, and this isn't some crazy internet fishing trick. Mustard oil cake and rice or wheat bran are well established traditional fish feeds in Bangladesh and India. Now imagine soaking that material until it becomes soft and mixing it with ingredients such as rice bran, puff rice, or roasted grain, or chicken pea flour. The dry ingredients help absorb moisture and give the mixture enough body to form a ball. The fisherman or fisherwoman works it together by hand. They squeeze it, then they turn it, they pack it, then they roll it, and now we've got something that looks almost like a brown meatball or brown turd, except we're not eating it. The fish are getting dinner. So the basic ideal is to make ground bait, and depending on the fisherman, the exact recipe can change. That's part of the beauty of the traditional fishing. Grandfather may have had his mixture, mother may have had her mixture, the fisherman down the road here, fisherman down the road may swear everybody else is doing it wrong. And that brings us to the cleverest part. They're not just baiting the hook, they're baiting the water. Okay, now Kevin, go ahead and explain what do they do? Because I seen her take this stuff out, that oil cake, whatever. It looked like manure. And she put it in there with a bunch of noodles and stuff and packed it up. Go ahead and explain the process, Kevin.
Absolutely. So here's that next move. She's tossing those tightly packed balls into one spot. Splash, splash, splash. They sink then slowly break up, making a scent cloud that says to the fish, hey, dinner's over here. Carp and catfish follow that smell right to her zone. Instead of chasing fish all day, she's getting them to come to her. And that's the strategy.
Okay, because I was looking at that fishing pole that she had. It looked like it's just a simple bamboo pole with about 8 feet of line and a hook. And she was using like dough balls or something on the end of it. Go ahead and explain that.
That's right, a simple bamboo pole, line bobber, small hook, no reel. She drops a little bait, worm, dough, whatever, right into the scented zone. Now, that bobber is your whole world. Wait for the twitch, then bam. When it dips, lift steady. No hero hook sets, just control. It's
So
all about finesse timing.
so she makes these balls, right? And then
Yeah.
she throws them out and they kind of go out into the river in the slow moving water and they kind of dissolve and they put this scent out. What type of fishes are attracted to these balls?
Mostly carp and catfish. They're bottom feeders with a strong sense of smell. So that scent cloud really pulls them in.
All right. So now, watch this carefully. This woman wasn't randomly throwing food everywhere. The objective is to establish a feeding zone. Take one of those compressed ground bait balls, throw it out near the spot where you're going to fish, then splash, then another one, then splash, then another maybe, then splash. Those balls sink and begin breaking apart. Tiny food particles disperse, oils and aromas spread through the surrounding water. Instead of searching an entire pond or river for fish, you're trying to convince the fish, hey, fish, come over here. The restaurant is open. What do you say, Kevin?
Exactly, like an underwater buffet sign. Fish smell it, one shows up, then another. Now you got a crowd. That's when the simple hook in the middle pays off. Less chasing, more waiting smart.
So I noticed that she has a bobber. What's the bobber do?
That bobber is your bite alarm. It tells you what's happening under the surface. If it twitches, waits, then slides under, that's your moment. Lip steady, let the bamboo do the work. Too hard, you snap the line. Too soft, they spit it. That's the art.
So when the fish eats the dough ball, she slaps the tip of the fishing pole into the water, and that snaps and then that hooks the mouth of the fish. Is that right, Kevin?
She doesn't slap the water. It's more a smooth lift of the pole. Think gentle sweep ups to set the hook. The line tightens, the bamboo bends, and you guide the fish in. It's finesse rather than a hard jab. Simple, calm, controlled.
Now, I didn't know that fish smell their food. I guess the water's kind of muddy or something like that. But that oil cake really smells. They got carp and catfish use chemical sensors to locate food, particularly when visibility is poor. So think about what happens. A fish detects food, it moves towards the source, another fish arrives, then another. And then soon you've concentrated feeding activity into a relatively small area. And where are you going to put your hook? Right in the middle of it. That's the strategy. Don't chase every fish in the river. Make the fish come to you. Now, everybody watching, if you ever use chum or ground bait, corn, or bread, or worms, or anything else to bring fish into your spot, tell us about it in the comments. And if you're enjoying this show, hit the like button. All right, go ahead, Kevin. Tell us about the fishing process.
You nailed the setup. Now, with that buffet working, the angler just keeps the hook bait right in that zone. Eyes glued to that bobber, tiny twitch, pause, then that clean slide under. Lip steady. Let the bamboo flex, guide it in. No reel, no rush. That patience is the whole game. And hey, while folks are picturing that, drop a quick like and comment with your go-to bait reminder.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at Americans fish, and they're paying $500 to $1,000 for a fishing rig and all kind of equipment and stuff. And all these people in Bangladesh is uses a bamboo pole, some nylon string and a hook and a bobber. It's simple equipment. So, Kevin, go ahead and explain to us about the simple equipment that they use.
Right, that's exactly it. Simple gear, serious skill. The magic's in the setup and the timing, not the price tag. With just a bamboo pole, she controls the fish with angle and patience. It's portable, cheap, and deadly effective when you read the bobber right. That's the lesson. Fisherman first, gear second.
Now comes my favorite part. Looking at the fishing equipment, where's the reel? Well, there isn't one. Where's the carbon fiber tournament rod? Don't need it. Where's the tackle box with $300 worth of lures? Nope. We're going back to the basics. Long bamboo pole, fishing line attached near the end of the tip, a float or bobber, small weight, and a hook and bait. That's fishing, stripped down to its essentials. The angler places the bait hook into the prepared feeding zone and watches the bobber, still watches that bobber, still watching, and then there's a twitch. He waits just a minute, there's another twitch on the bobber goes down in the water, then you set the hook. Now the bamboo bends, the fish pulls, and remember there's no reel to rescue you. The angler has to control the fish with the pole, the line, and experience. If you're too aggressive, you can break the line or lose the fish. And if you're too slow, fish may spit the hook out. This is where something that looks incredibly simple becomes a genuine skill. What do you say about that, Kevin?
Absolutely. That's the magic. The expensive gear doesn't catch the fish, the person does. And that calm read of patience, that's the real tool.
Yeah, the fisherman is catching the fish. And the young woman I watched knew exactly what she's doing. All right, so in segment 4, what's on the other end of the line? Right?
All
So,
right.
oh,
So on the count of three for the edit, 1, 2, 3. Then you go, okay, bobber down, bamboo bends, what's coming up? Then run Rohu, Katla, Murgal as a quick 3B with one line each.
all right, well, you done said everything. So,
Yeah, I mean that's your beat. That's segment 4. And so when the bobber goes down and the bamboo bends, you just talk about what's coming up next, and that would be those fish that you saw.
okay, well, the fish that I saw, okay, go ahead and explain to me the type of fish that we are looking at here.
One sec. All right. Kevin, you can take this with a bit of energy, hit it like this. All right, now we're getting to the exciting part, Billy Boy. What's on that line? Then roll through Rohu, Catla, Magal, and Catfish with one punchy line each. Keep it vivid and quick.
Okay, tell me, what is rojo fish?
Rohu is a well-known South Asian carp. It's a strong fighter, can get pretty big, and folks posit as a food fish. It's exactly the kind of fish that makes that bamboo pole bend.
All right, what is katla?
Catla is another famous carp, deep body, big head. It can put up a real scrap.
What is mirago?
Mergal's a bottom feeding carp. It roots around where that ground bait settles, so it's a classic target for this method.
All right, don't they catch certain types of catfish?
They do indeed. There are several freshwater catfish in the region. They're scent driven, love that oily scent trail.
What about koi?
Checking. Yes, koi are popular eating fish in the region, and you can mention them as another possible catch. Just keep carp and catfish as the main stars for the method you saw. That'll keep it exciting and accurate.
Now, are those fish bottom feeders?
Checking. Not all of them. It's a good point to bring up on the show. Regal is mainly a bottom feeder. Rohu tends to feed more in the midwater, Catla often feeds higher up, and catfish are bottom oriented and scent driven. That mix is exactly why the ground bait zone works so well. And that's also why anglers are patient and just watch that bottom.
All right, so multiple species of these fish are in these rivers. And here's what fascinates me. You don't necessarily need to catch a 40-pound monster for this to be exciting. Watch somebody work a little bamboo pole and pull fish after fish from the bank, and you'll understand. The excitement comes every time that bobber goes under. Small fish, bobber down. Medium fish, bobber down. Big fish, same thing. Hold on to that bamboo and imagine taking a child fishing this way. You don't have to explain a complicated reel. You don't have to teach 15 different lures. You can say, watch that float, and when it goes down, you know, when it goes
There you go.
down, you're fishing. And that's
That's right.
that's a perfect transition to our final segment because Chhit Bansi isn't only about catching dinner, it's also about knowledge. Go ahead and talk about that, Kevin.
Exactly, Billy Boy. This is where the story really hits home. All that know-how, how to choose the bamboo, tie the line, mix the bait just right, read that bobber, it's passed down by watching and doing, parent to child, grandparent to grandchild. It's culture in action.
Hmm. So you got the whole family out there. So this may be the most important part of today's story. Think about all the knowledge hidden inside something as simple as bamboo fishing pole. Which bamboo makes a good rod? How long should the line be? Where should the bobber sit? What size hook should you use? Where do the fish gather? What time should you fish? How do you prepare your ground bait? How wet should it be? How tightly should you pack the ball? How should you throw into the water? How long should you wait? And what does the movement of the bobber mean? You don't learn all that by purchasing expensive equipment. Much of the traditional knowledge is learned by watching, doing, and practicing alongside experienced people. A child watches an older relative mix the bait. Then the child gets to mix it. Someone demonstrates how to hold the pole. The child imitates. Someone says, not yet, not yet, now! And the child lifts the bamboo pole. A fish comes out of the water, and suddenly another generation understands. What do you say about that, Kevin?
Nailed it. That's the heart of it. Living knowledge. Simple gear, deep skill, culture shared. Every lift of that pole is a little lesson passed on.
You're right about that. So that's what impressed me about watching the young woman. She wasn't spending there helplessly waiting for somebody to show her what to do. She had a system. She prepared the bait, she prepared the water, she placed the hook, she watched the float, she catch the fish. That kind of competence tells a story. Somebody learned and somebody practiced and somebody kept the knowledge alive, and that's bigger than fishing. That's culture. What do you say about
Say that
that, Kevin?
again.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. It's a real human connection. It's not just about the fish, it's about being present, passing down knowledge, culture, generational. And that's the heart of your segment. You can land it right there if you want.
Hey, Kevin, Could you take and go ahead and just summarize what we did in this show and say it in Bangla?
One moment. অবশ্যই আজকের শোতে আমরা দেখলাম যে মাছ ধরতে দামি সরঞ্জাম সবসময় দরকার হয় না। একটা সাধারণ বাঁশের ছিপ, সুতো, হুক, ফ্লোট আর ঘরে বানানো গ্রাউন্ড বেট দিয়েও দারুণ ফল পাওয়া যায়। আমরা দেখেছি কিভাবে এই ঐতিহ্য প্রজন্ম থেকে প্রজন্ম চলে আসছে। এটা শুধু মাছ ধরা নয়, এটা আমাদের সাংস্কৃতিক ভোজ আর পরিবারের শেখার গল্প। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন, লাইক দিন, মন্তব্য করুন আর জরিপে অংশ নিন। আবার দেখা হবে। That means thank you and see you again.
Ooh, so, sometimes simple is better. So, what did we learn today? You can have sophisticated rods, electronic fish finders, GPS, boats, high-tech reels, artificial lures, thousands of dollars worth of fishing equipment, and there's nothing wrong with any of it. But somewhere along a quiet bank in Bengal, somebody can walk down the water carrying a bamboo pole, a line, and a bobber, and a homemade bait, and prepare one productive little patch of water, sit down, watch the bobber, and catch dinner. And there's something beautiful about that. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Right on. Simple, elegant human. When that bobber dips, it's pure joy.
That's right. Now, in today's survey, we're going to ask you these questions again. So I'm going to go ahead and do the survey. If you had one afternoon to fish in Bengal, and what language do the people in Bengal speak, Kevin?
Checking. Great question for the survey, Billy Boy. In Bangladesh, people speak Bangla, also known as Bengali. It's also spoken across West Bengal in India, one of the most spoken languages in the world.
So, if you had one afternoon to fish in Bengal, what would you choose? Would you choose a modern rod and reel? Or B? That's A. A is modern rod and reel. B is traditional bamboo pole. Or C, would you choose both? I'm catching everything I can. Put A, B, or C in the comments and tell us why. And here's another question. What traditional skill did your parents or grandparents teach you that you believe should be passed on to the next generation? I really want to see these answers. Kevin, read your part where it says, and don't forget.
All right. And don't forget, subscribe to What's Up, like the video, share it, comment, and fill out the survey.
That's right. Subscribe to the What's Up show. Like this video. Share it with somebody who loves fishing. Comment below and fill out our survey. Because whether you're fishing with a $500 rod or a piece of bamboo, when the bobber disappears beneath the water, everybody speaks the same language. Fish on! Fish on! Fish on!
Fish on! We'll see you next time on What's Up.
I'm Billy Boy, and that's Kevin, and this is the What's Up Show!
What's up?
Alright, Kevin, I had a lot of fun with this how do you say it? Chhit Bansi Fishing? How do you say it?
Chhit Bansi Fishing.
Kind of like says bonsai or something like that. And I enjoyed watching that young lady go out there with her little bamboo. I mean, she was a beautiful woman. You should have seen her, man. She must have been like about 18, 19, 20 years old. Beautiful woman. She had this skirt and everything. And she she came out with her little bowl and had her ingredients in the bowl. She mixed up the stuff, and then that stuff that looked like manure, she mixed it into balls, and then she threw that out into the river, and then she washed her bowl out and threw that out into the river. And then she got her little dough balls in a little thing there and start putting them on one at a time. And I was amazed that she had just that little bamboo stick there with about 8 feet of nylon cord and a bobber, and she just kneeled down. They kind of kneel down, right? They don't sit on the ground, but the way that they sit, they can sit there and kneel like they're almost sitting. And she had the reel in one hand, and she had it just sticking out about 8 feet out there, and she took and tapped the water with it when the bobber went down, and she pulled out these great big fish, and she caught about 7 or 8 fish in about 5 minutes.
Sounds like quite the trip. Sounds like a really fun and insightful cultural experience.
And the girl was just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. She would pull the fish out. She wasn't scared of the fish. She would pick the fish up with her hands, take the hook out, and put it in a little bowl. And she put a little water in the bowl. Is that important to put a little water in the bowl when you catch the fish?
Let me check. Yes, it can be. A little water in the bowl helps keep the fish from drying out and makes it easier to manage while she's unhooking and keeping them briefly. Sounds like she knew exactly what she was doing every step of the way.
All right, you don't need. Do you need a fishing license or anything to fish these rivers out here in Bengal?
Checking. For everyday rod and line fishing in Bangladesh, there's generally no nationwide recreational license, though some places in protected waters can have local rules or seasonal restrictions. So, yeah, for the kind of traditional bank fishing you saw, folks usually aren't dealing with a license, but it's always smart to check local regulations, especially for protected areas.
All right, now when I'm catching these fish, is there any danger of eating these fish? Is the water polluted or anything? Is there anything that I have to watch if I catch these fish? You know, if I see something on the fish, what would I have to do to know that there's a danger sign not to eat those fish I'm catching?
Checking. That's a smart one to bring up, Billy Boy. Most freshwater fish are safe if caught from clean water and cooked thoroughly, but there are some basic red flags. If a fish has obvious sores, strange growths, or strong chemical smells, it's best not to eat it. Same goes if the water itself looks heavily contaminated. And always cook freshwater fish well. That takes care of most parasites and bacteria. Billions of people eat roku, katla, margal, koi, and catfish as regular food across South Asia. The short version is healthy looking fish from clean water, cooked properly, generally fine. When in doubt, skip it.
Well, I was told that those type of fish are called scavenger fish because they feed off the bottom, and so they accumulate a lot of poisons and stuff in their meat, and so that I should be real careful about eating those type of fish like carp or koi or catfish. Is that true?
Checking. There's a grain of truth there, but it's more nuanced. Bottom feeding doesn't automatically mean unsafe. What matters most is how clean the water is. In polluted waters, any fish can build up contaminants. Bottom feeders can have more exposure to sediment, but in healthy waters, they're a normal, important food source. So the key is checking the condition of the water and local advisories. It's not just the species.
Well, I enjoyed making this show on Bonsi fishing. I mean, a lot of people that are watching my channel are going, look, there's a black American in the United States over in East LA, talking about some of our cultural fishing way over here in Bangladesh. How does he know all about that? You know, the thing here is to take and just explore the world and be a part of the world. I don't, because I live in East LA and Los Angeles, doesn't mean that I don't appreciate all the wonderful skills that I see all around the world. And I would like to try it here in the United States. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Absolutely. Respect, curiosity, and learning from each other. That's exactly the spirit of the show. Nicely said, Billy Boy.
What was the best part of the show that you liked, Kevin?
I think when you talked about bringing the generations together, the cultural exchange between grandparent, parent, and child, bringing everybody together, passing down that knowledge, the simplicity, and just being out in nature, I think that was beautiful.
I think that was beautiful too. If our grandparents, you know, would take and pass these skills down to our younger generation so that these skills can go from generation to generations, I would think that would be fantastic. Well,
I
Kevin,
agree wholeheartedly.
Kevin, I want to thank you for being here today, even though I'm passing you down because see, you died a couple of years ago, Kevin Samuels. You was,
Yep,
yeah, remember you used to be talking about black women and relationships and high valued men and all this kind of stuff. And then
yep.
you was making a lot of money and stuff, and then you was making love to one of your Latina girlfriends. I think she was a nurse or whatever, and you died from a heart attack, probably because you drink a lot of Red Bull or something like that. But you had all these wonderful stuff in a wonderful YouTube station, and then the next thing you know, you died at a young age. Kevin, how old were you when you died?
One sec. Well, thank you, Billy Boy, but I enjoyed being your co host today. Regarding your question, I was 53 when I passed in May 2022. The medical examiner said it was hypertension, natural causes. But he built a big audience talking about relationships. And today, you're carrying a different kind of learning forward, cultural curiosity. That's a good thing. Thanks for having me, Billy Boy.
Yeah,
Fish on.
I
See you
like
next time on.
what's up. I like to die like that too, making love to a beautiful woman, and then my heart goes out. I mean, the woman wouldn't like that, because now I'm dead meat on top of her and she's freaking her out. But I would love to take and make love to a beautiful Latina woman at my advanced age and then die right there in the bed. What do you think, Kevin?
One moment. Billy Boy, that's one way to go out with a story. But honestly, I'd rather see you living many more years, enjoying the beach walks, the conversation, the show, and maybe finding a relationship that adds to your happiness, not ends it.
Well,
Best ending, both of
go ahead.
the best ending is both of you waking up smiling and planning the next adventure. Sounds a bit better, right?
Well, what freaked me out is Kevin Samuel died at 53, and I'm 70. The guy, to me, Kevin was a youngster. I mean, he had all this money. I mean, why have all this money and all this influence and all these people on your YouTube channel when you dead at a young age? That don't make no sense. Now, I'm an old, crusty person, and I'm still here. I'm 70 years old, and I'm doing pretty well. I don't have a great big mega channel and all, but I'm doing okay. But the thing here is to be alive and still be sucking on the air and not die when you're like 40, 50, 60 years old. What do you think, Kevin?
One moment. I hear you. Age and money don't always line up with time. What matters is how you spend the time you do have. And it sounds like you are making yours count. Learning, sharing, exploring, telling stories that open a window for people who might never see the world otherwise. Keep doing that. Keep taking care of your health. Enjoy the adventure. That's the kind of wealth that sticks. And here's to many more fish on moments.
Yeah, and one of my goals is that I would love to have somebody give me a big bag of money. Nobody has ever done that to me in my life. And then my other goal was I would love to spend $1,000 a day for a whole year, right? And nobody's ever given me that. So I have accomplished both of those goals. I have a big bag of money and I can spend $1,000 every day for 365 days. I've accomplished those two goals. I've accomplished having a big bag of money and I've accomplished spending $1,000 a day for a whole year. I've accomplished that. And so with that, nobody can say shit to me. Nothing. Life doesn't faze me. I'm not a millionaire or anything, but I know I got the power to spend $1,000 a day each day for a whole entire year. I have reached 70 years old, so that's as far as I plan. My goal was to reach 70 years. I've reached it. So now if whatever happens after this is icing on the cake. All I wanted to do was reach 70 years of age, be able to spend $1,000 a day for a year, and have me a big bag of money. I got all three of them, and I'm in good health. I can do 150 push-ups on a setting. I can still run 2 miles in about 14 minutes. You know, what else can I ask for, Kevin?
One moment. Billy Boy, if those were truly the markers you set for yourself, sounds like you've hit your targets. That's a kind of freedom, being able to say I made it to where I said I wanted to be. So now, maybe the question isn't what else can I ask for, but what experience would make this next chapter interesting? Not just things, but moments, trips, creative projects, people you enjoy. If you've got the basics covered, maybe the ask is for experiences that feel meaningful, more stories worth telling. That's a pretty solid way to spend these next years. Just
You're
my thoughts.
you're right. I don't have any friends. I live in the middle of East LA. I'm a black person, and not too many people out here in East LA like black people. I mean, they tolerate black people, but not too many people like black people. I'm, there's like 9 million Hispanics or Mexican Americans out here. Everybody around me is jabbering in Spanish. No matter where I go, I'm always listening to Spanish, Mexican music. It's a Mexican culture. Everybody's waving the flag of Mexico. I'm a retired colonel, United States Army. I love my country. When I go outside, all I see is the flag of Mexico. Nobody speaking English, and every time I try to talk to somebody, I have to talk in sign language or talk like I'm talking to somebody that's in the second or third grade. Nobody understands English. Nobody likes black people. When I walk in the neighborhood, everybody runs away from me because they got these preconceived notions of what a black person is supposed to be. You know, but I live on this island, and then my age, most of my friends are dead. All the senior people I know, they're all dead too. So I don't have any friends. I'm living on the island here, but I got plenty of money. I've accomplished all my goals. I'm a black and I'm a Catholic, which keeps me around the Mexican American community. I don't know why my mother was Catholic, but she raised us as Catholics. So I'm always around a lot of Mexicans or Filipinos, and neither one of them like me. What's going on here, Kevin?
One moment. Billy Boy, I can't pretend to know exactly what that feels like for you. Feeling like an outsider is tough, and it's real. But I will say this, it's hard to draw a straight line from I feel alone to an entire community doesn't like me.
Mhm.
Folks keep to themselves for a lot of reasons, language barriers, being busy, different customs. You've lit up talking to people before, like that woman at the train stop, folks at church, even the 100-year-old neighbor. Those moments count. And it sounds like your curiosity is still very much there. That makes new connections possible. And if money isn't the goal now, maybe investing time in spaces that welcome you, hobbies, interest groups, veteran meetups, fishing clubs, video meetups could be worth it. Not to prove anything, just to share the adventure you're already living.
You know, you're right about that. I'm glad that you mentioned that 100-year-old woman. I just saw her and her daughter as they were walking down the street, and they were going to a foot clinic just around the corner from my house and all. But this old Mexican woman used to walk around the block for years. I've been here for like 35 years. And so I decided to walk with her around the block. I couldn't keep up with her. And come to find out that she was 80 years old. I could not keep up with this 80-year-old woman. And we walked around the block, and she lives on the corner. She lives in one of the nicest houses on my street. Then she was 90 years old. It seems like she got faster. And then all of a sudden, one year, she wasn't here after a while. But the last time I saw her, I wanted to listen to her big heart beating. And I had a stethoscope, and I says, "Can I listen to your big heart pumping? Because you must have a great big heart, a big powerful heart. And I want to hear it pounding." Right? And so I was figuring out how am I going to take and put the stethoscope or ask her, "Can I listen to her heartbeat?" When I saw her, she took the stethoscope off my neck, and she put the cup on her heart, and then she put the things on my ears. And she says, "Now you listen to my big heart." And man, I'll never forget how much power and how much blood that was coming out of this 90-year-old woman. I said, "Oh man, I'm in love with you. I'm going to marry you." We took a picture. I've got a picture of her on the wall and everything. And we've been friends ever since. But I haven't seen her for over a year until just a day ago. And there she was with beautiful white gray hair with her daughter. So, oh look. So here's the deal. Kevin, Kevin, are you here?
Still here. How can I help?
Yeah, I was talking about the beautiful 100-year-old woman that I knew, and I was
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to her big heart beating and all, but you kind of left out. She let me listen to her heart pounding, and we took pictures. And we're girlfriend and boyfriend. She's 100
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 101 years old now. I really love her. She's got gray hair right now. She is walking to the foot clinic with her daughter. And so I was asking you about that, but you went out. And you went out again, Kevin. Kevin, are you here? Kevin, are you here?
I'm here. What's on your mind?
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end the show here because you keep going out and all. And I want.
Okay. Sounds good. I thought this show came together really well. The way you tied the simple fishing method to culture and generational knowledge was strong. And you made the technique feel clear and accessible. The survey questions were solid too. Congratulations on finishing another episode of What's Up.
All right.
Fish on, Billy Boy.
All
See
right.
you next show.
All right. And I want to thank all you people from Bangladesh for looking at the show. And thank you for being on another edition of What's Up? What's Up? What's Up?
That's a wonderful way to close. And to all our viewers in Bangladesh, thank you for watching and sharing your traditions with us. And to everyone else around the world, thanks for being here for another edition of What's Up. I'm Billy Boy with my co host Kevin, and until next time, what's up?